Hello, hello. What the hell's going on with you?
Can you see me?
Did you really wait for me to go, change it over before you threw that thing on?
I absolutely did. This is supposed to be a Halloween episode, isn't it? Were we kind of celebrating Halloween tonight?
Yeah, well, I guess some of us are celebrating a little more than others.
That's the only thing I had to in the whole
gosh. Well, I mean, I don't know. Anyways, but happy Halloween to everybody out there. Seeing everybody starting to show up. All right. Yeah, for Halloween, I'm going to be traveling to New Jersey Para-Unity.
Yeah, that's a great event. That's going to be fun. You're going to have a good time there, and you have before, so I know you will.
Yeah, the only thing that sucks is my daughter Haley is due right after, and I have a feeling she's not gonna last. So
now I don't know if you don't want to answer this question. Don't answer the question. But I know you're proud, so I think you will answer the question. This will be your what number grandchild?
Oh, gee, well, you should have given me a warning on that one. I mean, Sam and Dennis, between them both, they have 5. Haley has 2, so this will be my 8th. But yeah, so yeah.
Wow. We don't have to worry about the Hawes family in an apocalypse. You're going to have
man, my mother has almost 40 grandkids.
Wow.
Yeah. So,
you know what? I wouldn't have said this 15, 20 years ago, but I think now it's really, really nice to have big families like that. I mean, I had a big family growing up, but then I only have one sister and we only have a couple of cousins. There's just not a lot left. And I really wish there were 40 or 50 cousins,
Yeah, I hear you. Well, thank you very much for the super chat, Jenna. That's very sweet of you, and happy Halloween to you as well. So, and I would love to have gotten on here tomorrow and did a live show, but again, I'm going to be traveling, so there's not going to be any way to do it. We're going to be at New Jersey Para-Unity. So, and then you and I have a few places that we're going to be hitting, so it's going to be fun.
It's actually going to be really cool. A couple places that we've been dying to get into. And not only that, we still have a couple that we've already filmed that we are in the process of preparing to release.
We would have put one up this Monday, but guys, it's been kind of an insane schedule, and we've been, especially with my daughter being ready to pop any day, and so it's kind of been running around. So this, I got to say it the way it is.
That's funny.
But so it's been a lot of running around, so we just didn't get a chance to. There will be one up this Monday and the following Monday. So hello to Jen over there, our mod. She is awesome. Thank you for all the hard work you do.
Yeah, she's great. She's in the chat early. She's keeping everybody occupied and entertained until we can get on live here. So thank you to her. I want to mention something, though, about the investigations that we've got coming up.
Yeah.
You and I have talked since the very beginning of our filming these that, not all of them are going to be home runs. Not all of them are going to have a lot of stuff going on. Now, some of these are just going to be more, let's tell the story of the place. And nothing will happen. I mean, it's just the way it is.
And you and I have actually been kind of taking the ones that weren't that great so far, and we keep on all right, well, maybe we'll air it next week. We'll air it next week, and it's we keep on pushing them. Eventually, we got to start airing some of those.
We will. But the thing that's really cool is that we go to a place where we say, okay, well, this place might be the place. It's just not going to be that much activity, and then boom, it surprises us. It's just it's amazing how that's been going on. Having said that, as you just pointed out, we do have a couple where there's not a lot of activity, but they're cool places.
Yeah.
And we want to share them anyway. So, I hope everybody understands that.
The places we're heading to next week, I mean, one place has never been investigated before, and we're going there. And then we're actually going with John and Chris from New Jersey Para-Unity. They're taking us to a different location, and we're going to investigate that as well. So it should be interesting.
So since we are on the eve of Halloween here and we don't have an opportunity to do a show tomorrow night, and I know we have other things we want to talk about too, but I did have a couple of Halloween related things that I wanted to share and talk about
All right.
and get chat's opinions. Go
All
ahead.
right.
What?
Right before you do,
Yeah.
guys, I've seen a lot of people commenting. Yes, with the Conjuring House owner thing, there was a video that was released today. It was the body cam footage from the police officers. I'm not going to air it here. That's not, I posted a link to it on my Facebook page, but I'm not going to air it here. And I'm not going to air it. I'm trying, the bottom line is I have tried to keep those videos to a bare minimum, mainly just to warn people and let them know the possibility of what could happen. Like this poor guy, Scott, who just was out over $1,000 after traveling all that distance. And we've seen what's happened. So I wish her the best. I'm just happy nobody was hurt or killed with the thing that happened the other day. And so I'm not, like I said, I'm not going to play that video. I don't want to do that. But thank you. So go on, Jim.
If you want to talk about that more now, that's fine too. These are little things I just thought we could have a little fun with. So there's no urgency on any of this stuff. So
Oh no, I don't even want to get into that. It mainly she needs help, and that's all we've
Yeah.
ever wanted. And so yeah. But
Yeah,
I had received something. People were asking me about the body cam footage, and I'm just it's out there. Feel free to look at it, but I'm not doing it here.
The idea of her receiving help has really been your only objective. Well, to protect your family, obviously, but also get her help. And I hope, I mean, from what little I know about this situation, and I only know from what you posted in your video, and then, this recent update, I saw some posts about that you did. It doesn't seem like even that. She was arrested and released, wasn't she? Just
Yeah, she was arrested for DUI. She was doing over twice the speed limit through a school zone, and when the police tried to pull her over, she then took off. And
crazy.
And it came to the point where they actually had to draw their guns.
Oh, geez.
Yeah, and they arrested her. But they just earlier they released the body cam footage, and it was all over all the news stations here in Rhode Island.
Yeah.
It was everywhere.
Yeah.
And so that's been out there, but
so
hopefully she's okay. Hopefully she gets the help she needs. That's
what I was going to say too. That's what I was going to say too. Maybe this would be the final straw and she would get the help. A couple questions I just saw quickly here in chat I want to address before we move on. Andrew asked me about what wax I use on a wood finish because Jason said I did woodworking. Jason probably said I know Jason does.
Yeah, I do woodworking. Jim just likes to play with wood. So
no, I do like light construction stuff, but I don't do any fine woodworking. I can promise you. Even simple molding is a bit of a challenge for me. So, but I'll do, I'll frame walls and do stuff like that, which I've done recently, but no woodworking. So sorry, Andrew, I don't have any advice for you on the wax. And I'm starting. Was that a joke? Am I missing the joke there, Jay?
I don't know. I didn't even see the comment, so now I need to make sure I'm looking at these a little better.
Okay.
So.
And there was another question about, did I finish The Sopranos? Yes, I did. I did it a while ago, and I've been scratching my head on that final episode for a long time. And then I watched because Jason watched it and told me about it. What was that called with the guy that made The Sopranos?
Geez.
Wise Guy, something.
Yeah,
final.
Yeah, I think I just actually saw that. Yeah.
Yeah, and you told me about it, so I watched that, and he talked about the creating of The Sopranos, and that was pretty cool too. So, all right. So the woodworking jokes are flourishing in chat. So there you go. We got that kicked off. All right, nice. So let me ask you this. All right, and everybody in chat, I want your opinion too. Let's talk about Halloween and trick or treating, and I want to know what your favorite Halloween candy is. The candy that you loved the most as a kid. And the candy that when your kids come home with their trick-or-treat bags, you go through and steal before they get a chance to take them. What's your favorite, Jay?
My favorite? Oh, gosh. I don't know if I have a favorite candy. I like M&M peanuts. I'm one of those guys who it's like you kind of throw it in your mouth and sit there and bite the candy shell off. So I don't know. I am.
You don't spit out the peanuts though, do you?
No, no.
Oh,
But
okay.
it's the art of doing it while you're like watching a movie or something. So
Oh, interesting. So I know that to be true too, because when Jay are on and I are on the road together, we often have a bag of peanut M&Ms sitting in the console between us, and that kind of makes the time go by. So I know that to be true.
Jimmy with his big ass hands grabs tons of them. It's like I have to get the supersized bag because if not, I get like 3 or 4 left. I left you some M&M peanuts. Oh, that's
Oh, I've always been a peanut butter candy kind of guy, so I love the Reese's stuff. Although I have to say, as I get older, it's starting to be a little too sweet. It's just a little too much.
yeah.
You notice that it's like certain candies, like now they're just too sweet.
Yeah, I just think that it's because we got older. I mean, it goes straight to our hips. What are we kidding?
That's true too. When I was a kid, though, I used to really I liked peanut butter cups, but I was more into like the Smarties and the.
We have to ban this poor Donna Keller. I'm sorry. She likes candy corn. That's unacceptable.
Oh,
That is like the worst candy. That I don't even think that's considered candy, Donna.
I think it's an alien life form. An alien life form.
Oh God! Now other people are saying I love candy corn too. It's like, what the hell is going on there? All right, Nicole, come on. This has got to be some like cruel joke. Who the hell likes candy corn?
That's funny.
I did see something that it's actually designed that you can like put them all together to create what looks like corn on the cob.
Oh, seriously?
Yeah.
They have a thing you can stick them in or something?
No, it's just that's how they're designed. So if you put them in a circle around,
that's
you can
funny.
build it up, man.
Candy. I don't mind candy. I can eat a couple pieces of candy corn now and then. It's not bad.
Oh,
What is that? What is it though? What actually is candy? What's that stuff made of? What is that? It's not chocolate. It's not. What is it?
Earwax? Oh, it's nasty. It really is.
It does kind of have the consistency of earwax. I think that's a pretty good call.
There's a whole lot of people saying they like candy corn, and
yeah, you've ignited a firestorm.
I'm sorry, I have lost a whole lot of respect for people. So,
but as a kid, I really liked the Smarties, and I used to play like pretend they were like superhero pills and like I don't know. Now I might be revealing too much information.
You were doing that last week.
So sorry folks, I've been sick for about a week here and I'm just getting over this cold, so if I cough into the microphone I apologize.
All right, every time I hear Baby Ruth's I think of Goonies.
Yeah, what right? Goonies. What was the one that was
Baby
in
Ruth
was in Caddyshack with it was floating in the pool?
Oh, that was damn. It was 100 grand or whatever that. What?
Yeah, something like that.
I don't know.
No, I love Baby Ruths. They're good. They're really good. Did you see the History Channel thing? How the candy that made America or whatever it was, and it was about the advent of all these different iconic candies.
I did see some of it.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah. I mean, I didn't pay too much attention to it, but yeah,
it's pretty cool.
Anyway. I lost interest in it pretty quick.
So I liked Smarties as a kid. There's something else that I always look forward to. I can't remember what it was now. I don't know. I had it in mind before, but either way, it's all right. Have we beaten up the candy topic already? Is that done?
I mean, we might. It's still going. The Three Musketeers. We've got Twizzlers. They're not bad. All right. Yeah. Milk Duds. All right.
Oh, so it was a Baby Ruth and Caddyshack too.
It was.
According to Tasha, yeah. I think that's what kind of reminded me of. So I think it was, yeah.
Sloth loves junk. There you go. That's from Goonies.
Yeah.
So,
didn't that movie just have like a 40th anniversary or something?
If it did, I don't want to talk about it.
Something like that.
Crazy. JV, there you go. All right. Chrissy Morton wants to know. Look at the screen, JV.
Which screen?
Right there.
I have a thing above mine. Okay.
Where is a good place to ghost hunt in Cooperstown?
Oh, okay. Great question. There's a couple places. Ghost Hunters was at the Otasaga Hotel, the Hall of Fame, which you can't ghost hunt at the Hall of Fame. They won't let you. They just did it for Ghost Hunters. Or Hyde Hall, all good, both good places. There aren't really any private residences that allow it or encourage it, although there are some great ghost stories. And then the third place excluding the Hall of Fame. The third place is what's called the Farmers Museum. But again, I don't think they sometimes you can do an event there, like a ghost hunt event. But you can't, I don't think they do anything private. So all these places in Cooperstown, there was a little flurry of ghost hunting activity, but none of them really embraced it totally. I'm not sure why, because I think the baseball tourism is so dominant here that they don't really even think of the other stuff. But if you can get into the Otasaga Hotel and spend some time in there, that's really, really cool. Or Hyde Hall. They do a lot of ghost tours and stuff, especially this time of year. But it's a really cool old mansion.
So JV Brandon wants to know, what's your favorite horror movie? I can start off quickly. Mine is The Thing with Kurt Russell.
Wow. That's not what I would have expected from you, but that's a great movie.
What do you think it was going to be?
I thought it was going to be something like what I was going to say, like Halloween or the original Halloween with Jamie Lee Curtis.
I mean, it was good, but no, The Thing.
That's a great movie. Yeah,
it was.
You like that one? Have you ever seen the original one from the 50s?
I did. Yeah.
That one's not bad.
No, and I saw the prequel one or whatever, the one they just made not too long ago as well. I mean, it wasn't bad.
Yeah, I didn't see that one. I thought that of all like the corny 50s monster movies, The Thing from Another World, the one from the 50s, was actually a really good, serious one. It was actually done really, really well. And then the remake with Kurt Russell was.
You're saying the 50s? Yeah, I mean, at that point, you were 20 back then, and I hadn't even been born. So it's like, Jesus. I wouldn't have known that movie even existed.
Oh, my God.
Jim, I've only been alive while there's been color TV and stuff. So.
That is too funny. I think me too, I think. I didn't always have a color TV. All right, let's go to my movies. So Halloween is one of my favorites. Night of the Living Dead, the original, not the one that's been restored and re-edited and all that crap. The original 1968 Night of the Living Dead is one of my top 5. Halloween, one of my top 5. Grave Encounters, believe it or not, which is an actual ghost hunting horror movie, is in my top 5. Blair Witch Project in my top 5. And then I have to say the other slot kind of rotates between whatever I happen to be watching at the time, I suppose.
Laura, thank you very much. And it's great seeing you in here. Laura actually worked for me at the Spalding Inn for a long time. You're a sweetheart. Thank you so much, hon. It's great seeing you. Hopefully I can see you again at some point. It's been too long.
Attack of the Killer Clowns. Holly says Attack of the Killer Clowns from Outer Space gave me nightmares for a while. That's really funny because that movie is an intentionally campy film, but it actually has some kind of creepy moments because clowns can be freaking creepy.
Oh, I hate clowns. I hate clowns. And if any of you have heard, there was, all right, so I got thrown out of a circus at one point that we had taken our kids to because of clown issues, and they wouldn't leave me alone. So I just don't like clowns. Never have.
So Darker Shadow says the trilogy of terror, the one with that stupid doll. I can't remember the name of it, but that little like not voodoo doll, but it's like this tribal doll with the hair and the spear. And she buys it, and it's I think it's Karen Black that's the actress in that, and she buys it, and the thing, she can't kill it. It keeps chasing her. I think it finally gets her in the film, but that's classic.
Alexandra, Something Wicked This Way Comes was a phenomenal movie for its time. It really was. So that was great. I believe they used to get on the carousel, and it would go, and they would get younger and younger. It was weird.
Oh, wow.
It was a long time ago. So
yeah, there's some great movies. I'm not into the really gory stuff. That's kind of, it doesn't appeal to me. I mean, I watched some of it, and as you know, Jay, my son-in-law is involved in making the Terrifiers film series, among others. And that's just all gore. And I've watched those to support him, and they're good, but I'm just not really into the gore stuff. Are you? Do you like that stuff?
No, not really. Well, I don't mind it, but I'm not really into it. Bruce, yes, we have been to the Mansfield Reformatory. We were filming there at one point, and we didn't know that there was a prison behind that. And they get very upset when you go near there with cameras. I just want to tell you that. So,
oh, wow. Holly, thank you for reminding me. The Shining, of course, great movie. 1988, The Shining with Jack Nicholson and Shelley Duvall, who just recently passed away. Great movie.
Stephen King.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, he wrote that after having an experience at the Stanley Hotel.
Yep. That's
So
right.
he got
That's right.
drunk and had a hard time finding his way to his room, and yeah, and that's how The
That is
Shining
funny.
showed up.
Yeah, that's a great one. So thanks for reminding us of that. All right. So Jay, when you were a kid, did you gravitate toward those Halloween costumes that, you'd buy them at, like, I don't know, back then it was at Kmart. I don't know what the popular stores were. And it was the plastic, mask with the rubber band that you just put on your face, and then like some cheap thing you throw over your clothes.
I had those at one point. I mean, because when we were young, we lived in well, you saw it. So when Jim and me went and filmed in upstate New York, when we went to Rolling Hills, we took a detour one day, and I got to show the video, but we grew up in low income housing. And so, I mean, because we were at that point, we were 5 kids, and, we're poor. And so we used to get those, but those things would tear your face up, man. They hurt. I mean, and then the rubber band would snap and you'd be
Yeah.
bleeding
Oh,
from
yeah.
the ear. You take a staple through the side of the head. And I think probably half of it was that we were getting secondhand plastic masks at that point. But yeah.
Well, yeah, like you go to lick your lips, and the little mouth slit on the mask was like sharp, like a knife,
Yeah.
and you like cut
Your lips would be all bleeding, and
you'd be bleeding.
it was horrible. Horrible.
And we were
time.
proud
I
of it,
mean,
though. We were running around.
that's
proud
what
of
made
it.
that's what terrified me about Halloween the most, was what the hell I had to put on and take off, because that stuff was gonna hurt.
What type of costumes did you gravitate toward back then? Was it like superhero stuff? Like I always wanted to be Batman, or was it monster stuff?
I could never get into Batman. Well, it depends on the time we're talking about, Jim, because there was a time in my life that I was in slightly a bit of trouble. So Halloween was one of those nights that you could throw on a ninja outfit and
Oh boy.
go and pay back some kid who gave you a hard time the day before. So,
Okay.
so it was like 4 years in a row. I think I went as a ninja and come back with a knot on the head, a black and blue eye. My parents are wondering what the hell is going on. So,
Oh, that's funny.
yeah.
That's too funny.
But besides that, I don't
You're right,
know.
Laura. Laura in Facebook, you couldn't breathe in those masks. Now, there was
No, you
no
couldn't.
breathing. There was no
Well,
seeing. You
and
couldn't
let alone
see.
the smell you'd get from those.
Yeah, God knows what they were made out of back then. There was no safety standards, I'm sure.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Um,
Jeez. It's like even some of the masks you got today. But, if you could go right now as something, what would you go as?
Oh gosh, I haven't dressed up. Can I?
I don't want to do the French maid thing again. I don't want to hear it. So go on.
This is going to sound really corny, but it's true. So I have to say it. The last time I dressed up for Halloween, I went as Jason Hawes to a party in Cooperstown.
What'd
This
you do
was
with your
back.
hair?
I had a bald cap. I wore a bald cap, and I painted a goatee on, and I went as Jason Hawes. I did. That's the last time I dressed up. And that was probably 2009, 10, I don't know, somewhere in there.
Jeez. Did you ever send me a picture of that? No, I don't think
I
you did.
may have way back then. I don't remember. I don't even know. I know I took one. I haven't seen it in years. It's probably on my phone somewhere, an old computer file somewhere. Who knows? But yeah, I'll see if I dig that out, and we'll share that someday. But and if I go right now, gosh, Jay, I don't know what I would go as. I mean, I think I would like to go back to traditional monsters, like, Dracula, Frankenstein, Wolfman kind of monsters. I think, because I'm really my head's kind of there right now. I've been watching all those movies recently, so that's probably where I'd go.
Thank you, Nori, for the super chat. And thank you, Mary, for the super chat. And she says The Omen, 1976, Gregory
That's
Peck.
a good movie.
How about Rosemary's Baby? I mean, that was pretty
Oh, that's a great movie too. Yeah, see, you start talking about these. Do you remember a movie called The Other?
The Other. That's not the one with Nicole Kidman. That was The Others. Right?
No, that was The Others, right? This was The Other. This was like an early 70s movie. Petrified me as a kid, but it was about these twins that lived on a farm, and they have this nanny or grandmother. I don't remember what she was, but she kind of took care of them. And she had this weird power, like to put herself into like a bird's eyes. So as the bird's flying, she's experiencing it, that kind of thing. And
sounds like Beastmaster.
And all these people keep dying around the farm. And it turns out the whole time that and I probably shouldn't give a spoiler, but
I mean, it was
not
from
what it seemed.
1970s, Jim. I think we're safe. So go ahead. So
Seems new to me.
If they haven't seen it yet, chances are they won't.
So one of the twins had actually died long before, and the other twin was just imagining him or projecting him, and the twin that had died was the one that was killing everybody, but it really was the other twin that was alive that was killing everybody. But he, was hallucinating that it was the dead twin. It's kind of a weird movie, but it still haunts me.
I'm so confused.
Are you lost?
I'm confused. I'm really confused. Invasion of the Body Snatchers. What terrified me the most on that movie, especially the one with Dennis Sutherland, right? Donald Sutherland, sorry.
Donald Sutherland.
When that freaking dog came up and it had a human head,
That's
face.
right.
I mean, that terrified me I don't even understand, but it did terrify me.
So I just want to point out, Jad, do you see the Facebook chat in real time where you are?
I think so. I don't know.
We have a whole bunch of people contributing stars on the Facebook page, and
it doesn't show up here.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. It probably didn't. So Melissa, thank you. Wanda, thank you. I'm sure we've missed a bunch, so I'm sorry.
I am going there now. Let me take a look. Hang on, everybody.
Carmen, thank you.
Oh, well, thank you so much. I'm looking at it right now. Greatly appreciate it. I don't even know how stars work. So,
yeah. So thanks so much for that. It helps us with our investigations. The other movie from the early 70s, and the other is hard to find. I actually looked for it the other night to see if I could find it on a streaming service. Another one is Don't Be Afraid of the Dark. Not the new one, not the recent one. That one was actually kind of stupid in my mind. But the one from the 70s, it was a made-for-TV horror movie with the little creatures. They move into the house, and these little beings are kind of like running through the house, coming out of vents and stuff, and they're trying to get the wife.
Oh, I do. Yeah. All right. I do remember that. Honestly, yeah, because there was another movie like that was later on that was called The Gate.
Oh, okay.
And honestly, that was like the first movie I ever went to with the wife. So it was The Gate when we were back in teenagers. Yeah.
Nice.
So
nice. Yeah, there's some good ones. What do you think of the Blair Witch Project type films, the found footage stuff?
Hang on one sec. So, Wade, just so you know, I don't send friend requests from my page. So if you're getting friend requests, it's not me. So there's a lot of fake pages out there, and it's ridiculous. So just stay safe. And Puppet Master was a phenomenal movie. It really was.
Lake Emma, thank you so much for the stars. Appreciate that. I'll try to keep an eye on this, Jay, over here.
All right. So People Under the Stairs, that was a good movie. Absolutely.
With our good friend Sean Whalen, by the way. He's a good friend. Katie Carmichael, thank you for the stars on Facebook. Thank you. Do I have? One other thing I want to ask about, because I saw somebody post. There's a Cooperstown information Facebook page, and I'm part of that because I live in Cooperstown. And somebody posts, what's the schedule for trick or treating this year? Like what night, blah blah. And I'm thinking to myself, and I know this has been going on for a while, but my kids are older, so I haven't had to deal with it. What point in life did they institute scheduling for trick or treating? When I was a kid, we got home on Halloween, we threw our costumes on, and we went. There was no schedule.
Yeah, you just waited for it to get dark enough. And that's it.
Yeah.
And, it's funny because when we first moved here to Rhode Island, we grew up in upstate, and then things were far away from one another. But when we got here to Rhode Island, it was a small little neighborhood. So we'd throw on our costume, we'd go trick-or-treating, then we'd come home, swap costumes to go trick-or-treating back to the good houses. And some of the neighbors knew about it. I mean, some of the neighbors are funny. They'd be like, Jay, you were just here an hour ago dressed as this, so get out of here. But, yeah. I don't know, but yeah, it was pretty much, it went from the minute it started getting dark till around 9, 10 o'clock.
9, 10. Yeah. You had to be home at a certain time, or if you were young enough, your parents were with you. But generally, I can't even remember my parents ever being with me. So I think I was just kind of set loose to go trick or treat when I was a kid. Chris Cummings, the king of stars. Thanks so much, buddy. Appreciate that. Michelle, thank you for the stars as well. I guess that's all my Halloween chit chat I think I had.
That's it.
That's pretty much it.
I mean,
I do remember, like, sometimes you'd have somebody who would give you a penny instead of candy, or a box of raisins
or a
instead of
pencil,
candy,
a pencil.
or a pencil,
It's
right?
like,
An
I don't,
eraser.
yeah, I don't want to go to work. I don't want to go to school anyways. And you're giving me a
I know.
pencil. I mean,
You didn't retaliate against those people, did you? Jay?
so, I mean, come on. If you're passing out pencils at Halloween, I'm sorry, but just, yeah, you're not going down on my favorite list.
There's a famous episode of you ever watch Curb Your Enthusiasm?
I did. I watched some of it. Yeah.
Okay. So there's one where these two teenage girls trick or treat at Larry David's house, and he doesn't give them candy because he says they're too old and they're not even in costume, and they really weren't. And so they toilet paper his house and, shaving cream and all that stuff. And he's upset. Do you think he was justified? If like two older kids, let's say two 16, 17-year-old kids come to your door without costumes and say trick or treat, do you think you're obligated to give them money?
I think it's Halloween. So I would give it to them just because they did. So yeah.
What would you be thinking while you did it? Like, that's lame. At least, right?
Well, no, because I think this day and age, sometimes you got to sit there and wonder. I mean, maybe they couldn't afford a costume. Maybe they're dressed as some social media people. Maybe they're, who knows? So
okay, all right, that's fair.
I good because I pulled that one out of the hat. It's like a safety. Jeez, I didn't know if I was gonna sell that one to you, but yeah,
that works. I'd be thinking, okay, that's a little lame, and you're a little too old to be trick or treating, but here you go. That's what I would be thinking.
Main Street, Paul. Yeah, I heard that Sam McColby bought Haunted Elementary School, but here's the only thing. To be honest, I'm not going to pay to go and investigate a location. So I saw some people saying that they were charging a good amount of money and everything else, and it's not about that for me. It's when I get out there, I'm going to investigate a location because I want to investigate a location, or because somebody wants me to investigate it. So I'm just not going to pay to go and check out a location. But thank you.
Brian and Fran say that those kids could be doing something worse than trick-or-treating, and you're absolutely right. It's a good point.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, they could be TPing your house. I mean,
which they probably will do anyway.
Yeah, and yeah, so I just saw that.
I mean, do you remember waking up at times to be like eggs all over the place and pumpkins smashed everywhere? Yeah, you remember because you did it. I know what those eyes are saying.
Yeah, I'm leaving that one alone. So let's see.
All right.
What do we got? The Prophecy. That was scary. That Prophecy was actually really good. I mean, Christopher Walken's in that. I mean, it was a good movie.
There's a funny thing about that movie. I didn't read a lot of novels when I was a kid. I hated to read, actually. But my mother read The Prophecy, and she said I'd like it. So I actually ended up reading it as a kid. Scared the sheepers out of me. And then the movie came out. And obviously, when you read a book, the movies tend to be a little less interesting because you already know the plot, and they don't seem to live up to the books when you've read the books generally, just because, how do you fit a whole novel into a 90-minute movie? You don't. But I remember it pretty distinctly, and that was a great book. It was a really, really good book.
Seen videos of adults stealing candy from bowls left out. Well, yeah. And then poor kids come walking up to the house later and can't get any candy because some adults took it. So
is that a real thing?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. You get that.
Wow.
I had one neighbor tell me at one point, they were like, yeah, I put a bowl out, says, please only take a couple, and just an empty bowl. And I put that thing in there. I'm like, why?
Yeah.
Why? I mean, it's horrible. So, all right. So let's see here. Hang on. New Jersey Paranormal Super Chat. Thank you. The Exorcist. I mean, The Exorcist was a good movie.
The Exorcist is still considered the best horror movie of all time. It's certainly one of the most successful horror movies of all time. I've watched it again recently, and it doesn't have the same effect on me as it did when I saw it, years ago, but it's still a pretty intense, scary movie.
Yeah. I mean, we had Linda Blair out one point to a TAPS event that we did out in Florida, and it was interesting. So,
yeah, I had Linda Blair at a Scaricon event one year, and that was also interesting.
Yeah. I tend to say things to people if they're celebrities and they treat the fans certain ways. I
Yeah,
tend to.
she's not good with the fan. I mean, she's not kind to the fans. Let me just say that.
All right. So Sherry Wagner, thank you very much for the $10 super chat. Old version of Don't Be Afraid of the Dark can be watched on Google Play. I don't think I've seen the old version of it.
That's the one I was just talking about. So that's what you're saying. It can be on. It's on Google Play. I'll have to look. Definitely.
So I'll have to check that one out. All right. Let's see here. Charlie Brown Halloween doesn't belong on here. I guess somebody said Charlie Brown Halloween, The Great Pumpkin. Yeah.
I really miss the days, Jay, when you were in anticipation of the night that holiday special, whether it was Rudolph or whether it was Charlie Brown Halloween or whatever, was going to play, and you got all ready for it, and you sat down and you watched it, dealt with the commercials, and when it was over, you were excited but also disappointed that it was over and you wouldn't see it again until next year.
What about 30 Days of Night? Did you see that one?
That's a good zombie flick.
Yeah, that was actually not even a zombie. That was a vampire type stuff.
Oh, vampire, right. That's right. I was thinking 28 Days Later. That was a zombie.
28, yeah, that was, and that was more that they were infected with the rage virus, right?
Is that what it was? Yeah. They ran fast. I remember that.
Oh, yeah. Okay, so let me ask you this. First off, let me just say thank you to Thrifted Design for the $2 super chat. Phantasm, great movie. Actually, we had the cast with us at one point. Christy, thank you for the $4.99 super chat. Which experience was each of your favorite based on the investigations that you've been on so far? Let's see. I mean, I love Rolling Hills. Just getting back there was phenomenal. And we had some crazy experiences.
Rolling Hills was almost nonstop for us when we were there. It's such a big place with such a colored history, and you can still feel. You walk into the place and you feel those vibes, and we did. And we weren't sure what to expect. Jay, had been like 16 years since you were there, and it was insane. But I'd have to say the one that if we're saying favorite, it's certainly the most memorable at this point, is when we were at Casey's Cottage and I got scratched.
That's right. Yeah, it was good. Casey's Cottage is neat. And Die Hard is a Christmas movie. Yes, it is. So.
Yeah, that Casey's Cottage.
Rolling Hills Asylum is actually in the chat. Hello, Rolling. We were just saying that you were one of our favorite locations. Well, you are the favorite location that we filmed at. So,
yeah.
So you can say hello, everybody, to Rolling Hills. All right, let's see here. All right. Thank you, Lisa, for the $5 super chat. The Changeling. Yeah, that was a good one. Wasn't that? It was like that weird thing on the side, right?
Yeah, the funny thing is it's often cited as one of the scariest movies, and I saw it a long time ago, and I've seen it like pop up in menu selection, and I think I got to watch this again, but I have to be in the right frame of mind. When you're going to watch a horror movie, you kind of got to be in the right frame of mind to watch it, and I haven't been there to watch that one yet, but I think that's got to be on the list.
All right, Jennifer, thank you for the $2 super chat. Her boyfriend says the movie Squirm. I don't think I've seen that one.
Is that
Squirm? Now I gotta look up Squirm. Hang on.
Yeah, I think that's the one. I think the poster for that is the girl in the bathtub. Am I right, Jennifer? It's the girl in the bathtub with all that looks like slugs or snakes or something coming out of her.
Well, let's see.
Tell me if I'm right.
There was a 1976 one. Is that the one they're talking about?
Oh, there's an older one too.
Oh, Crawling Terror. Yeah, I don't know. I'd have to check that one out. So, not really familiar with it, but now I'm adding that to my list.
The Blob. Angela, that's funny because when I was a kid, The Blob scared the crap out of me too. I think my mother said I wouldn't sleep for like 2 weeks after that. That one and the original Dracula with Bela Lugosi. I had made my mother take I don't know what toys were. Like, what are those toys that they're like sticks and then they had the little wheels with the holes in them so you could build things? Are they Tinker Toys? Is that what that was called?
Yeah, I think so. Oh, yeah.
So I had my mother, every night before I went to bed after I watched Dracula, I made her make crosses out of those Tinker Toys around my bed.
Oh, jeez.
That's how much it affected me.
Wait, Dark Water. Is that the one?
That's the one with...
Oh, yeah.
That's the one where the boat leaves them, I think. Is that the one where the boat leaves them?
I don't know.
Floating in the water?
There's one that I'm with Jennifer Connelly. But yeah, I the one that's always been something that terrifies me is being left in the water as a guy
Yeah.
who deep sea fishes and goes out on my
Yeah.
the boats and everything. That always terrifies me. The fact of it's just like you could be sitting there floating as these things are swimming under you.
I know.
Oh,
That's
you
the
know what?
thing. It's so mysterious.
Deb's got it right. The
What's
Fog.
that? Yeah, The Fog's a great movie.
Yeah, Adrian. I mean, she's a good friend.
Yep. Adrienne
Adrian
Barbeau is
Barbeau.
terrific.
Yeah.
Yep. She's
So
terrific. And yeah, that was a great movie. And they tried to remake it. I know the remake wasn't as good. They never, rarely are. Rarely are they as good.
Laura says The Serpent and the Rainbow, but I'll be honest, The Serpent and the Rainbow made me feel like I was on an acid trip.
Wasn't that like a voodoo movie?
Yeah, it really did. But yeah, so it was interesting, but it was like confusing, and I felt like I should have been on drugs when I was watching it.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was definitely weird.
That had what's that actor's name? I can't remember. The guy,
yeah, the one Tom Cruise also
Bill
killed in War
Bill
of the
Paxton?
Worlds.
Is it Bill
No.
Paxton?
No, Bill Paxton's the one from the maybe I don't know. He's the one who was on the Titanic and died. And he died.
Oh,
of
then
heart
what about
surgery.
who's the guy that was in Spaceballs? Is that Bill Paxton? The lead guy there?
No, but I know who you're talking about.
I think it's him.
Spaceballs.
Isn't it in the Purple Rainbow?
I'm a Mog, half man, half dog. You could say I'm my own best friend. All right, Christy, thank you for the $4.99 super chat. I have to say the battle of Jason and the bat in the attic was both terrifying and made me cry, snort, and belly laugh.
Wilson Castle. Yep.
Let me tell you, it was no battle. The bat won. The bat won. He totally won. There was no battle whatsoever. I was terrified for my life, and I went totally brain dead.
He conquered that room in seconds.
Chris Piper, thank you for the $2.79 super chat. I love the Changeling. Yeah, absolutely. That one seems to be getting a lot of love. Melanie, thank you for the $1.99 super chat. Best horror movie, Exorcist. Keep it classic. I mean, that's a good one. It really is. Alexandra.
Chris over in Facebook says Salem's Lot, and that's another one that I read the book and saw the movie. The movie was good. That was with David Soul.
Okay, so now I saw the movie. I loved the movie. I mean, the movie terrified me when I was a kid, especially when the master comes blasting through the kitchen window. Did you see the remake?
No, I haven't. That's on
HBO Max.
HBO, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Don't.
Really?
I mean, it was not good. If you guys saw the remake of Salem's Lot, let me know your thoughts in the chat. But I just was not. I was not impressed. It was a letdown.
The original Salem's Lot, that was a made for TV, wasn't it?
Yeah, I believe it was. Yeah.
Yeah.
So thank you for the $2 super chat. What did you think of The Others? I thought The Others was good because it had a nice twist at the end where you're like, oh, now I get it. So
yeah, I agree. I thought that was a good one too. I actually thought that was better
Candy
than
was the dog in Spaceball. Yes, he was.
John Candy was so great. So good.
Yep. Your Schwartz is as big as my Schwartz. Yogurt has taught you well. So yes, that was awesome. All right, Kevin, thank you for the $5 super chat. What is everyone's scariest Stephen King movie miniseries? You know what? I honestly loved The Stand. I did. Yeah, and the original one. I mean, the one that they did back in like the 80s, I think I liked more. And it was the end of the world, and there's good people and there's bad people, and which side are you going to be on? And people that are willing to die for their morals and their beliefs. I thought that was a phenomenal movie.
So Karen, I don't know if I can pronounce the last name, Kanapasek in Facebook says, how do you do super chats? Karen, super chats are part of the YouTube stream. Yeah. There are stars available in the Facebook stream. It's a different thing, same idea, but the super chats themselves are on YouTube.
Chris, thanks for the $2 super chat, and hello to your daughter, Shayla. And thank you very much. All right, so just trying to get through these guys. Sorry. Rico, thank you for the $2 super chat. Devil's Advocate, Keanu and Pacino. That was a good movie. And what's Charlize, right? Wasn't Charlize Theron in that?
Yeah, I think you're right.
Yeah, my God. I think that's probably the only reason I watched that movie. I'll be honest. Whew, let me tell you. Yes, I was in love with her. I think I still am. All right. Mistreated. Thank you for the $2 super chat. Needful Things. That was a good movie. Yeah, Stephen King.
Oh,
Or
that was a
Thinner.
good one.
Thinner was a good movie by
Thinner
Stephen
was
King.
a good one. I got to say, if we're asking about favorites for Stephen King, The Shining is going to top my list, but I think Salem's Lot's a pretty close second. And then, you got that tier of Christine, Pet Sematary, Carrie.
Carrie was good. Yeah, Fright Night. I mean,
yeah. Right now with Stephen King?
No, I just threw that out there.
Oh, yeah, okay.
So, but all right. Let's see. Thinning Veil Paranormal, thank you for the $5 super chat. Children of the Corn, A Pet Cemetery. Yeah, that was actually good. What was the one that Christopher Reeves was in? He wasn't in Children of the Corn, right? He was in one that he was in the one that, I mean, he was like teaching and the kids were, their eyes would start to light up white.
Christopher Reeves was in that?
Christopher Reeves was in one. If you guys know what movie I'm talking about, let me know. I'm trying to think of what the hell it was. So, thank you very much, Julie Forever, for the $20 super chat. Loved it. Love it when you're live. Well, thank you. Yeah, people know. Kenny Biddle says, Fright Night. All right.
Mary
to coin the phrase vampire hunting.
Sorry.
Oh, Village of the Damned. Thank you very much. That's what it was, Ruby.
Keanu Reeves was it? Or
No,
it was
not Keanu. No, Christopher Reeves.
Chris Reeves was in Village of the Damned?
Yeah, and it was a creepy movie. It was like all these little like blonde hair.
Yeah.
Kids
Well, that must have been a remake because there's an original one from the 60s that I've seen.
Again, Jimmy, that was before my time.
So Mary Urquhart, I'm sorry if I'm mispronouncing the name, reminded us that it's Bill Pullman was the actor that I was trying to come up with there. Yeah, for Spaceballs.
Yep.
But also was Bill Pullman in Serpent and the Rainbow? That was the original point.
No, it was what's his name? Oh, jeez.
Treat.
No. No, I thought it was the guy. Williams? I thought it was the guy who played in.
We're so stupid, we can just look it up. I mean,
yeah, probably. I thought it was the same guy who played in the Shawshank Redemption. Maybe I'm wrong. All right. Well, thank you for the $1.99.
No, it was Bill Pullman.
Oh, well, I guess you're right.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you, Michael, for the $5 super chat. Is Showgirls a scary movie like Scream 2? Let's see. JV dressed up as a giant bat for the next investigation. If JV dressed up as a giant bat, you'd be getting hit by a bat. So it's
whack.
Exactly.
I can see it now. Yeah, that's the last thing I'll ever do is like sneak up on Jay with a bat or disguised as a bat or whatever, because God knows what'll come swinging around.
And I don't mean it. It's not like I mean it. It's just I have that fight or flight thing. I tend to fight.
It's a reaction.
So
yeah. So Sean Mitchell says House of a Thousand Corpses. So Sean likes the Rob Zombie gruesome stuff. It's a pretty good movie. A lot of great actors in there. Some friends of mine. But man, it's gory. It's gory.
Yeah. Yeah. This guy said JV dressed up as Trump. Okay.
Someone said I did or I should.
I don't. I've
never done that. I don't know. If there are pictures out there of me dressed up as Trump, they're fakes because I've never done that.
Let's see. Poltergeist, of course, that was a great movie. Everybody. Let's see. So, you like Rob Zombie's Halloween? I don't know. I couldn't get into Rob's. Couldn't get into Rob's Halloween.
His vision of stuff is a little too dark for me. Again, I know a lot of the people involved in those projects, and I wanted to like them, and I don't dislike them per se. But I'll take John Carpenter's Halloween over any of those films any day because it's simple, it's creepy just in its presentation, it's not in your face gory, even though there is a little gore. It's subtle, and that's the kind of horror that I really, really like.
All right. The Howling, that was a great movie. The Howling, yep. Bitter Troll, thank you for the $5 super chat. To ward off bats, just shout, "Go, Gotham needs you." Okay. I wish I could, but I'd go totally dumb. Literally, like, I can't say
It's true.
anything.
I witnessed it. He
I
just
mean,
collapses, doesn't know what to do. It's funny. Edie says The Village by M. Night Shyamalan. That's a great movie.
that
There are
wasn't
people
bad.
that don't like it. There are people that don't like it. I thought it was fantastic. And I did not see the twist coming until
What was the one I just saw the one, what was it that his daughter did? Oh, Trap, which I so wanted to like because I love the concept, but it was the father's a serial killer and he takes his daughter to a concert. It was tough.
Did you see that at a theater or is it streaming?
Yeah, it was online. I saw it, but it was tough. I couldn't do it. All right. So let's see.
Yeah, there've been a couple. Shyamalan had some really good ones, and then some of them come out and it's just like, it just didn't get there. Like, do you see the one Older?
I did. Yeah, that was I expected better. Yes.
I did too. How about the one the Visit
Thank
with
you,
the
Wanda.
grandparents? Did you see that one?
I did. Now that one was creepy as hell.
I haven't seen it. It's good.
Yeah. It was good because I mean it's a twist where they're videotaping. I mean they're FaceTiming or whatever.
Don't spoil it for me.
No, well, okay. I got nothing. I can't say anything.
'Cause I'm going to watch it like next couple nights probably.
Sean 13 Ghosts, I think, was a phenomenal movie. You know, I really do. I liked it. So let's see. Lovely Bones, White Noise. That was actually a good movie.
Yeah, that was a good one.
Let's see. One of my favorite movies was Dawn of the Dead.
The Ghost and Mr. Chicken. The Ghost and Mr. Chicken with Don Knotts.
Oh yeah, jeez. But the original Dawn of the Dead was good. I mean, they took over the Super Mall.
That's right. That was good. Did you like the remake, the 2004 remake? That was pretty good for a remake.
It was all right. It wasn't bad. But it was just I liked it. I mean, there were slow moving zombies in the original, and the remake they were fast. They were running after you, and I think slow zombies are creepier because it's just they're constantly coming. It's
right.
No matter. Yeah, you got to sleep. You got to do this. They don't.
Right.
So it's just they're constantly moving. Even if it's slow, they're constantly moving. So
it's a funny conversation because a lot of times you look at some of the way zombies are portrayed now. And, like even in Walking Dead, which was hugely popular for a while, they're seeing them as like completely not unaware, but they're focused on eating or whatever it is. They're not smart. They can't figure out stuff. But when you watch the original Night of the Living Dead, which was really the birth of the modern zombie movie, they were smart. They were picking up things to break windows and stuff. They were trying to use tools. And they weren't just after brains, this whole brains thing. That wasn't what they were after any part of the human body. They just wanted to kill and eat. So I think that's gotten kind of distorted, but I always go back to that original vision. Like you said, they're slow. They actually do have some smarts. They can actually manipulate tools and things, and they're tenacious. They just don't stop.
Yeah. Uncle Bubba, thank you for the $5 super chat. What's the scariest thing that happened to you at an investigation? Well, and I mean, not even talking about the bats. We've had situations where we've gone into certain locations and found that people were squatting in back rooms, doing drugs. We've had situations where people had ulterior motives. They were armed. So, I mean, we've run into a bunch of different scenarios. So, Cindy, thank you very much for the 1999 super chat. JV, will you guys ever consider doing a live conference or seminar? Actually, we have considered that, and I've been working with a good friend of mine, Jay Steelman, on a setup where so we can do that because I think it would be great to connect with everybody and just to try to push the field forward with the correct information. All right. What do you got, JV?
Let's see. We got a bunch of stuff going on in Facebook. I'm having trouble keeping up with it, but other movies being listed here: Jennifer's Body,
All right.
The
We
Car.
probably, yeah, but probably a lot of us watched that movie for the wrong reasons. All right. That was Megan Fox, I believe.
Was it Megan
Yeah,
Fox?
I think, yeah, I've been probably the same reason why my sons have watched the Transformer movies 300
Right.
times.
Yep, that's probably it. Jason, you need to hurry up and come to Scotland. Some fantastic locations to take you to.
I would love to get over there, honestly. And you, and Jim and me, we've been also talking with Beardo. We've been talking about going over and checking out some of the castles that are local to him. So I think that'd be
Yeah,
great.
that would be really, really cool. What else? Twilight TV show creeped me out more than some of the monster movies. Yeah, Twilight show's obviously a classic. There's almost not a single episode that's not good of the original Twilight Zone series.
Oh, Twilight Zone. I thought you were saying Twilight. I was like,
no,
no,
yeah,
no.
not that.
Maggie, thank you for the $1.99 super chat. And Alien with Sigourney Weaver was good. Actually, I just saw the newest one that came out, and surprisingly, it was better than I thought it was going to be.
I think that original Alien is phenomenal.
Oh, I think it was
as
great.
far as a scary movie.
Pumpkinhead. Pumpkinhead, 1988.
Oh,
that was good. That was with Lance, right? Yeah. I mean, that was a good one. I think Steve actually has tattoos of that movie on his leg.
Oh, does he? I know he's got some, like, I think he has Reanimator tattoos.
Yeah, he does. He does.
Yeah, with Jeffrey Combs. But yeah, no, there's some great ones. This has been a great discussion about movies. What's that say about Black and White?
Oh, what about, all right, so Karen says, what about The Car? Not Christine. In Christine, I believe. So fun fact was, first off, Christine was a great movie, but the Dodge Charger that was in that movie, I owned.
That's right.
I owned. Yes. I had bought that in auction, and I owned it for about 4 years before I sold it. But yes, so that Dodge Charger that you see driving away in the end, and the one that the kid drives up behind Christine, gets out and scratches into Christine and takes off. I owned that car. So, and I bought it. Remember, I was sending Adrienne Barbeau because her ex-husband was John Carpenter. I was like, Adrienne, look what I bought. And
yeah.
So John was all jealous and everything. But yes,
so funny. I hadn't forgotten about that, but that was a few years ago.
I sold it to the guy who ran San Quentin prisons or something. Because it was sitting in the garage. I wasn't using it enough.
Yeah.
So yeah, somebody says 1 hour of talking horror movies. I know. Who would have thought it would have gone that long on that one, huh?
So Jan wants to know if we've been to the Bell Witch in Adams, Tennessee, and we have talked about doing that and going there and doing an investigation and spending some time there and researching the area. We've been talking about that for a long time. Have you visited it before?
I have not. Yeah,
but
I would love to get out there. And I was talking to a relative of the original Bell Witch. Actually, she was hanging out with us at one time up at the Stanley Hotel, and she was going to take us there, but we just have never done it. Maximum Overdrive, phenomenal movie. That movie was great.
That was a good one. They're all in the diner or whatever, and the vehicles are getting crazy. Do you remember Killdozer? No. Oh, Jay, you've got to see Killdozer.
Killdozer. What the hell is Killdozer? I got to look it up. What is it going to be? Something stupid, Jim?
I don't know. It scared me. I don't know.
Killdozer. Let's see. I don't think I typed in the wrong Killdozer.
It's one word, Killdozer.
Yeah, but all right. Killdozer, right?
Yep.
All right, let's see here. No, it keeps on coming up with something different. What the hell?
That's weird.
Yeah, Killdozer movie. I'll look that up. All right. Okay. I see it now. It's 1974 made for TV science fiction movie.
Yeah.
No. Was that under the same premise as Maximum
kind of the bulldozer becomes alive and goes on a killing spree, basically. Yeah.
Goes on a killing spree. All right. All right. Let's see. How about Ernest Scared Stupid? Thanks for the $20. Oh, geez. Thanks for the $20 super chat. Julie, Ernest, Scared, Stupid. I have not seen that one, but I mean, there were a bunch of Ernest movies that were kind of scary to watch when I was younger. I think all for the wrong reasons. Oh my gosh. Let's see here. All right. What do you got over there, Jim? Hang on.
Lynn says the Creep Show movie. That was a good one. The first one. I don't think the other ones were
Creep
as
Show.
good. But that first Creep Show had the story about like where Ted Danson's in it, right? And the guy buries him up to his head on the beach. That was in the first one, right?
Oh yeah, yeah. Because there was also Cat's Eye too. Remember? What was it? Cat's Eye. Cat's Eye. What the hell was it? So
that one of the stories?
Yeah. Well, no, one of the movies. It was Cat's Eye or something like that. Damn. No, I think it was Cat's Eye.
I just remember that first Creep Show. I think it had the one where the guy was in the very sterile apartment. He's a germaphobe, kind of like a Howard Hughes kind of guy. And all of a sudden, all the cockroaches come pouring out of the drains.
Yeah, I remember that. Yep, I do remember that.
And then the one with Adrienne Barbeau, where she's just a nasty wife, and her husband, I think he's a professor or something, and they have this beast they captured from somewhere, and they make her go look in the box, and she gets devoured by the beast.
Tammy, right? Yes, Tammy, thank you for the $5 super chat. I love investigating with my kids, all my kids, my daughters, my sons. Anytime I'm able to check out a location with them, it's wonderful. And you're going to see them showing up more and more on some of the videos we're doing. So thank you for the question. All right. Mommy Dearest. Yeah, that was No More Wire Hangers. Yeah, that was horrible.
Oh my God. Yeah. That was quite a film. This is a great question, actually, from Edie. Does the paranormal kick up around Halloween?
Well, I think it doesn't really kick. I think the majority of cases kick up for numerous reasons. First off, because it's getting colder, it gets darker earlier. People are in their house more. Wood's popping, the moisture's drying out, so it's sounding like somebody's walking. So I mean, we get an uptick of cases, but I don't think it works out as an uptick of actual paranormal activity. So
I also think more people are paying attention to it because of the Halloween season. More people are like talking about it, interested in it, chatting about it. Maybe there's more people going out on investigations than normally would be. So there's just more people involved in it and paying attention to it as well. That I'm sure that adds to some of this idea that there's more activity.
Road Trips with Yogi says this election scares me. Yes, yeah, I hear you. I'm just so ready to stop seeing political commercials. My God.
You know, I know we don't talk politics here, and I'm not going to really go politics, but I got to say, I really prefer the election season before social media. It was so much kinder. It was so much nicer. People weren't so easily ready to jump down people's throats and call them nasty names over their politics. All before social media, it was kind of, everybody kept their politics to themselves.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree. But you could also talk. You could have a debate back and forth.
Yeah, you could just have a civil conversation, because when you're sitting with somebody talking to them, they're going to be more generally kinder, more polite in their conversation than they are behind their keyboard, where they think they're king of the chat room or whatever it is.
Jess, thanks for the $5 super chat. You ever come across little gray spirit creatures during investigations? They're about knee high and slink into the shadows. I'm researching them. No, but they sound very much like elemental type things. But, well, I look forward to seeing your research on that one. Motel Hell. It's, I'll have to check that one out. See, Motel Hell. It should have like the, here you pay by the hour.
Yeah, right.
No-tell motel.
We got to make a movie just with you doing that face, because that was a perfect horror movie kind of thing face that you did there. That was perfect.
Sorry, I didn't even see what I did, really.
So, yeah, it was good. It was good.
Motel Hell. I got to add that one to my list. All right. I keep on having to click back and... All right, let's see here.
Celine, thank you for the stars. I'm haunted. Can you come and investigate me? LMAO just asked Satori. I guess I don't know who that is, but Celine in Facebook. Langevin St. Marie. Daryl, thank you also for the stars on Facebook. We appreciate that.
Yeah, thank you very much for all of that, guys. I remember the little things in Ireland on the thermal. Yeah, I do too. That stuff creeped me out because that was, I mean, we were in this area which is called Wraith, and it's where people used to, it used to be their encampments, and they used to dig holes under and so they could escape. And some of the old tales are that ferries came in, and ferries that we hear in the United States are very different than ferries in a lot of other areas. And the ferries supposedly came in, killed off the people, and went into the tunnels underneath. So as you're walking on the ground, they claim that the ferries are running through the tunnels, waiting for your feet to fall through so they can grab it, which is scary as hell if you think about it. Hellraiser. Hellraiser was great. What was the line on that? You know, feel free to run these halls. We have eternity to taste your flesh.
Is that the tagline?
Yeah, I think that was what Pinhead said, right? Or one of them.
Oh, funny.
Hellraiser makes me sick to my stomach. I hate it. Yeah, it's not for everyone. But the hooks coming out and grabbing, yeah, it's pretty nasty.
Karen, we agree. Karen says, I missed the live Halloween shows. Absolutely the best Halloweens ever. We had been talking about trying to do something like that this year. We just couldn't pull it together. There's so much going on, but we'll see if we can do something at some point, and maybe next Halloween. Who knows?
We'll have to set like a target. Like if we hit a certain amount of subscribers
on
YouTube,
yeah,
we'll do a live,
That's a great idea.
special. I mean,
That's
we'll
a
do a
good
live
idea.
Halloween show. Yeah, we'll have to come up with that. Because you know what? I think that the thing is, YouTube has a lot of a younger audience, which is great. And a lot of older folks are like, that, hell with it. I don't want to go to YouTube. But I mean, we're transitioning a ton of people over there, which is phenomenal. I mean, this page, I started years ago, but I never used it. And I think when I first started posting stuff, I had like 14,000 followers on there. I mean, and now we're, just about to hit 130,000. And that's within like 6-7 months.
Yeah.
So
yeah, and you're right about, there's certain people that are just hesitant to do it, but once they make the transition, they realize how easy it is.
Well, it's
free.
Yeah.
It's free, and it's available on demand, and you can watch things over and over, whatever. I mean, it really has all the benefits of modern streaming, and once they make that transition, I think they love it.
Yeah, and we'll see, wherever we go or whatever we do with Ghost Hunt, there's been offers that have been placed out there, and most of them we haven't done, just because the fact is, like, I could go to a network tomorrow, but then I have to give them the ability to take all of our shows and put on a platform where they charge you extra to watch it. And I hate that. I really do. That's why I'm loving YouTube. I don't charge you anything. You can do it for free. I mean, you want to become a member and help us out, or you want to become part of the Para family or something, great. That helps us out. But we're not going to ask you to do it. Just, you want to see a video, you can see the same video everybody else sees, and it doesn't cost you anything. And yeah, you see, there you go. It's like, there, I'm 65, oldish. I love YouTube. Good. And and we love to hear that. So, all right, let's see. Do collabs with your daughter and younger people? Yeah, we're going to actually start bringing our kids on, as well as some other people. And we're going to be filming some other videos too with some other investigators, and we're going to start loading it onto my YouTube page. So, which will help them. All right.
Yeah, and it'll give you a taste of a different style of investigating, different personalities investigating. It'll be, it'll be another option you can see right beside the videos that Jay and I are doing.
Absolutely. So, what do you mean you can't figure out how to join our community, Laura? Jeez, it's easy. First off, all you got to do is subscribe. But like I said, there's all part of the Para family or Para friends, and that's like $1.99 or whatever a month, and that of course helps us out, offset some of the cost of the travel and all that stuff. So, Timmy, thank you for the $5 super chat. Silence of the Lambs, The Birds, and The Wizard of Oz. Now, I've seen 2 of those 3 movies.
You're not going to believe which one he hasn't seen.
Thank you for the $5 super chat. Julie, how old is Jason? Physically or emotionally? Because I mean, it's two totally different ages. Geez, I am 52 years old. Jeez. To think I started Ghost Hunters, I was 32. That's amazing if you think about it. I was 32 when we started filming Ghost Hunters.
It is crazy. It was that many years ago. I mean, I think about it too. I'm like, we've been friends. It seems like forever, and it's been a lot of years, but it also seems like it was yesterday. And it's just weird.
Yeah. So I try not to act 52 though. So, anyways, Chris, thank you for the $9.99 super chat. All right, let's see. Jenny, thank you for the $13.99 super chat, and we get to show you our appreciation for your hard work. Oh, you're a sweetheart. Thank you so much. You got questions, Jim?
I'm trying to keep up. Would like to see you. This is Chris. Would like to see you at the Villa. How do you pronounce that? The Valeska?
Yeah, Axe Murder House.
Yeah, the Axe Murder House. I've been there twice.
Have you? I've never been there.
No. He said he's been there twice, not me.
I've never been there. I'd love to get out there.
Haven't been there either. Karen says, "Happy Halloween, everybody. Be safe out there," and that's important too. Be safe. Make sure you're safe. Make sure your kids are safe.
Look at this. Look at this mean lady. This mean, hurtful lady. That's my aunt.
Where?
Kim Ingrick. I just posted it on our video. It says, "You old fart." That's my aunt. That's my Aunt Kim. Calls me
who else
fart.
to know better?
You're lucky I love you. You're lucky I love you, Kim. Jeez.
Too funny.
Oh, anyways, all right. So, yep. Calling out I'm being tortured by my own family. How do you like that?
That is good. Hi from Calgary, Alberta. Hello, Nancy. Good to see you. Thanks for being here. My 10-year-old daughter wants to know, this is from Vereen Evans. My 10-year-old daughter wants to know which movie you didn't see from that previous question that someone asked.
All right. Well, real quick, Sharon, actually, I'm not 1972. I'm December of 1971, December 27th, 1971. So, but, what movie didn't I see? I've never seen The Wizard of Oz.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, see, that's what I was saying. Can you believe that this man has never seen The Wizard of Oz? That's like a childhood rite of passage.
Seeing The Wizard
of Oz. Why? Yeah, I don't know.
I mean, our rites of passage were totally two different things. Yeah. So, yeah. Yeah. Channeling the heart, Barbara Joyce. Thank you for the $5 super chat. Oh, don't even worry about that. It's all good. Everything helps. Thank you. Let's see.
Channeling the heart on YouTube, $5 super chat. Thank you so much. The question is, how about the original Haunting of Hill House with Julie Harris? And I'm surprised, and I'm sure there are people that have brought it up and we just didn't see it. But that movie, I think it's called just The Haunting. I think that's what the name is. Maybe tell me if I'm correct here, channeling. But it's just called The Haunting, and that's also considered to be one of the scariest movies, particularly one of the scariest that's ghost related. It is a good one.
All right. Let's see. American Werewolf in London. Yeah, it was a good one. Jeez. I mean, this has been a long time just talking movies. What else we got? Yeah. Let's see. Monica, thank you very much for the $4.99 super chat. Would you guys do a raffle for a chance to win to go ghost hunting with you guys? Yeah, I mean, I feel bad, and you and I have always felt like that, Jim. The nice thing is we do YouTube because we have fun. And of course, if it brings in enough to offset the cost of our travel to these locations and stuff, then great. From the ads that are played on the show. I just hate to charge people money. It's never been my way. It's never been about the money to me.
Here's one thing that you and I have always talked about, however. there's going to be a time when you and I are going to feel, and we'd actually, I don't know if I should say this, but we came close with this, with the hurricane relief, where you and I thought, hey, we should do something specifically to
Yes.
raise some money for the hurricane victims. Or there'll be plenty, sadly, there'll be plenty of tragedies in the future that we can look at one of those. And maybe that's a time we pull out something like this. But I have to warn people. I've seen some people on social media doing these raffles. If you do a raffle for your personal gain, it is illegal. That is considered an illegal lottery, and it is a federal offense. So when you say, hey, Jay and I are going to raffle off, you got to buy a ticket and we're going to pick a winner, and that winner gets to do X, Y, Z. If we do that and we keep the money, that is illegal. So
Yeah. Well, even beyond that, yeah. So we did a thing way back when Ghost Hunters first started. It was, you remember, for Cure Kids Cancer. And it was, send us $1 and we'll do a raffle and you win a Ghost Hunters and a Taps t-shirt. And, we got in a little bit of trouble for that. But, all the money went to where it was supposed to go. But the fact of the matter is, we did not know that you're not supposed to do that because, it's all this regulation and,
there's three elements to any of that. It's consideration, which would be money, chance, and a prize. And you can only have two of those three in any legal contest. You can't have all three. If you have all three, it's considered a legal lottery and it is a federal offense. And I know that from my days of owning radio stations because they watch radio stations very closely for that type of thing.
So, all right. Yep, too much red tape because the government always needs to get theirs, right? So, but I guess it also keeps down some sneaky stuff going on.
And it's a thing I've seen some people, and I don't want to jump in and say, hey, you guys, what you're doing is illegal. I don't want to be the wet blanket on their party, but and people can decide whether they want to support those folks but for themselves. But I see them online a lot, and I'm like, they're going to get in trouble if they're not careful.
Yeah, exactly. All right. So guys, I was actually going to do a video about, because I received a couple of emails recently and people were asking me about the types of hauntings and talking to me about another type of haunting, like the one that we had at the Mount Washington Hotel, where we seemed to be getting direct communication. And they were like, yeah, it's a residual haunt. Now, I wanted to do a video because I wanted to explain that there's a big difference. So where I've always said there's intelligent, residual, and poltergeist type haunts, and intelligence like you and I communicating, you and I pass away and we're trying to communicate, and that's what's terrifying. A residual haunt is like a tape player rewinding it, playing itself over and over again. And a poltergeist type haunt is more of a child that's manifesting the activity themselves. Another type of haunting that we've been seeing, which seems on the rise, is, I guess you can refer to it as a time slip type haunting, which is, again, different than a residual type haunt. It lies primarily in the nature of the event and their interaction with observers and how it plays out over time. In a residual type haunt, the phenomena, it's often linked to an intense emotion or traumatic events, which some believe imprint on the environment. All right, where a time slip haunt it's sometimes described as an anomalous time phenomenon. It's a rare event where it appears as if people are experiencing or entering into another time period. Witnesses might see scenes from the past as if they're temporarily slipping back in time, sometimes even observing like people, landscapes, buildings that once existed but are no longer present. So in essence, if you think about it, time slip haunt is like briefly stepping into the past, but also it opens up the door where it's as if they're living a day in their life still in their time, and we're living a day in ours. And for whatever reason, that time seems to overlap. And we got that at the Mount Washington Hotel, where we were in the room and the lady was talking about how she was going to get security because she could hear us. So so now I guess we can add more and more. We can add this other time slip type haunting onto the whole categories of different types of hauntings that are out there. But I just wanted to explain the difference between a residual type haunt. Think of it this way: if something comes walking down the stairs, is not paying you any attention, and it walks directly into a wall, and then you go and you research the house and realize that there used to be a doorway where that wall is now. well, that's a residual haunt because it's following that same path as if there was still a doorway there. So, but then again comes a situation where the time slip haunt, if somebody comes down the stairs and walks through a wall, but in their time, they're still living a normal day in their life, there was a door there. So it can be rather confusing when it comes down to that. But I just wanted to get that out there because people have asked me that question quite a bit lately.
Well, you did the video recently, which people can find on the YouTube channel, talking about proving or disproving the paranormal, and you made some really great points in there. You're talking about the fact that there are so many things that occur, whether it's in our daily lives or just over the course of our lifetime, that we cannot explain by rational scientific means. Some people will say, and by definition, I guess that would be considered paranormal, but when you talk about it in the spiritual sense, some people will say, that is a paranormal spiritual event. And so I don't think there's a person in my life that I have met, especially in the paranormal community, when they come up and they'll say to me, I don't believe in ghosts, I don't believe in that stuff. But one time this happened, and everybody has a story. Everybody's got something that they can't explain. So how can you at least not remain open-minded about it and say, okay, there is something going on. I just don't know what it is.
Exactly. So, Tony, thank you for the $2 super chat. Any future ghost hunting shows? Well, as of right now, it's it's what we're doing on YouTube at Jason Hawes on YouTube. But we'll see. We'll see what the landscape brings. The main thing is I want to bring it to you guys where it's not going to cost you anything, or anything extra, and that's what I'm able to do with YouTube right now. So, but Sherry, thank you for the 1999 super chat. So happy you both decided to team up for paranormal research on YouTube. Yeah, we've been friends for a long time. It was fun, and you'll see eventually. Like I was just talking to Steve the other day, and he's going to be joining me at one point. He's just been trying to do his book thing lately, and poor Dave's been dealing with hurricane after hurricane in Florida where he just moved. So, and Sherry joined me on a past one. So. But all right, hang on. All right, CF, thank you for the $2 super chat. Greatly appreciate it.
I don't want to get back into the movie conversation because we've kind of moved on, but I do think this is an interesting point because in the movie it references. I can't bloody something on YouTube. Which horror movie made you feel the most afraid that you were that was close to home? Mine was Annabelle because of the demon scene, and I had to go to a Catholic church to feel better. You and I've talked about those Conjuring related movies, Annabelle and all that stuff. Mm-hmm. And what are your opinions? What's your opinion of those films?
You're going to put me on the spot, huh?
Yes, I am. Sorry.
I think that Hollywood takes something and blows it way out of proportion from what actually occurred. Because think of it this way. So I was offered a deal in the past where a movie company wanted to option my book on my case files. And we were talking initially, and the point is they wanted full control over being able to add and remove things. And so after that, the conversation broke down because you can't take a story and which is how it happened, which is creepy enough, and then blow it way out of proportion. I just didn't want that. But that's what Hollywood does. I mean, they over embellish everything. I mean, the reason people are terrified of graveyards is because of what Hollywood has done. The reason people are terrified of ghosts is what, the movies and everything else has done. I mean, many other cultures, they accept it. It's normal for them. But here, everybody's terrified of it because of Hollywood and TV.
Yeah, you got to remember Hollywood's job is not to inform you, it's not to educate you, it's to entertain you and get you to buy tickets or whatever the equivalent of streaming is now. So you got to keep that in mind. And I'll say another thing as we talk about these movies specifically. One of the things that I'm not going to say it's frustrating. I just want people to recognize that the way that the Warrens are portrayed in these films has to be taken with a grain of salt. They were pioneers in a lot of ways, but they're also had some questionable tactics. And I'm not going to say a whole lot about it, but I just think people, be careful when you celebrate what they did, because they did leave a trail of people that were kind of pissed off. Is that fair, Jay?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm not going to say anymore.
Yeah, no, it's no, I get it. Yeah, it's tough. It's tough. So yeah, just do your research. I think that's what it comes down to. So hang on, Tango and Steve. Absolutely, I plan to have them on some stuff in the near future. So like I said, I've been talking with them. Dave just moved down to Florida, and Steve's just been doing his book stuff recently. So.
Hey, Jay, this is a great question because you've just been talking about this stuff. David asks, what do you think of the supposed ghost images on Tesla cameras?
Well, John Pasqua and me took his Tesla out, and it has nothing to do with ghosts. Yeah, they're picking up different things, but it just, yeah. We have a video that we'll be putting out probably in the next few weeks, but let's just say the cameras are picking up a lot of things and it's registering as something that it's not. So you got to remember all the sensors and everything that are on those things. I mean, it's insane.
And I think people need to be careful about the SLS camera. SLS cameras, is that what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Same thing. I mean, I've been involved in investigations where folks have been using these cameras, and they say, "Oh, there's a little boy standing next to you, holding your hand, or whatever." Like, you know what? Those things pick up, and they just draw the stick figure, and people automatically jump to the, "Oh, look, there's a ghost standing next to you." And I found that there's really very little evidence that that's what they're seeing.
Don't use them, and honestly, that's a big reason. I just don't believe in the technology of it. It's not really picking up that. So just like people ask me why I'm not using the Ovilus and things of that nature. So, all right. Hello from Ireland. Hello over there. Met Dave at Disney World last year during a Halloween party. Dave practically lives at Disneyland. I mean, he moved to Florida, I think, just for the fact that he could be closer to Disneyland.
That's funny. Is that him or is that his wife?
No, that's him. I mean, yeah, his wife is a part of it as well. Lisa, she's a sweetheart. But Jason, would you and JV do an investigation with Destination Fear crew? Absolutely. I'm good friends with Dakota and Chelsea and all of them. So they're wonderful people. Yeah, I'd invest. I had them on my show numerous times. So
yeah, we've talked about doing a lot of collabs like that. We're always open for that. We like to see how other people operate and like to have people see how we operate. So.
Jason, I saw you at Mount Washington in 2010, and Jason gave me the Jason look. What is the Jason look?
I know. I was wondering what that look was.
It was a great event, and we saw a lot there. What is the Jason look? You need to elaborate a little more on that, or maybe not. I don't know. So no,
Jason look.
The Jason look. It's funny. I mean, sometimes these things will come through, and then they'll slow down, and then it'll jump up again. All right. So, Jason, have you ever had a paranormal activity happen when you're on a plumbing job? Yes, I have. I was called to do a job I've had a couple different experiences. I just did a Roto-Rooter video about one case where somebody came down and talked to me in the basement while I was doing a plumbing job. And I thought it was a person there. But I was also called out to, what is it? It's a mansion down in Warwick. It's owned by the Archdiocese now, Aldridge Mansion. And that's said to be one of the most haunted places around. And at that point, I called Grant. I was like, hey, man, you got to come over and help me out in this basement. I mean, honestly, biggest reason I didn't want to be in that basement alone anymore. It was weird. So, all right, Tammy, thank you for the $2 super chat. So do you believe people have gifts or abilities? 100% I do. I believe that, but I also believe that people can become more sensitive. They can actually teach themselves to be more sensitive. If you head into 1,000 so-called haunted locations, and out of 1,000, 100 of them actually seem to have paranormal activity, your body tends to remember how you felt in those locations. So that would make you more sensitive than somebody who's never had the ability to sense that. So I think it's a trained thing. that you can get. But also, I worry because I think there's a lot of charlatans out there as well that will take advantage of that.
So there's a question here from Cree Storm. I think it got banned or deleted or whatever by the YouTube algorithm, whatever it is. But I think it's a good one. What is it called when a lot of people talk about a haunting so much it actually creates the haunting?
So they're manifesting it themselves.
Yeah, but what is that called? There's a
yeah. Oh, geez, it's mass. Yeah. You know what?
Yeah,
I can't think about it right now, but yeah.
I had the same trouble. I couldn't come up with it, but yeah, I'm sure somebody in chat's going to remember what the name is.
Do I believe in mediums? I do. I just believe that there's a lot less of them than it actually seems. So I believe that.
In other words, most of them, not all of them are genuine. Only a small portion of them are genuine, I think is the way I'll put it. That's the way I'll put it.
Yeah.
The other thing about mediums is that, like, you talk about investigating with mediums, you know, a person can come on and say they feel whatever, and there's a ghost standing over there, and people watching have no idea if there's any legitimacy to that. There's no way to prove or disprove or offer any real concrete evidence that what the quote unquote medium is seeing or saying has any legitimacy. And it may be 100% legitimate, but it may be 0% legitimate too. And that's the problem with using them in investigations. So I know, Jay, I don't know if you ever use mediums. I use them sparingly in the past. I like some of the way some of them work, and I think there's some value, but it's tough presenting them as a scientific, objective part of the investigation.
Yeah, I mean, like I have friends like Chip Coffey. He's a friend. Chris Fleming. He's a friend. I've had Chris on the show. And yeah, so I think they're great to have, but my thing is it's always tough for me to sit there and ask the viewer to take the word of what somebody's feeling versus what I'm able to document for them. So it's never a negative thing or an attack towards them, and they know that. So
right, exactly.
But it's the way I've always looked at it. So, Patrick, thank you for the $4.99 super chat. What's your thoughts on the flashlight method? I don't like it just because over a period of time, I learned that when you loosen it up to a point, over time, the energy can jump and give you false readings on it. So I try to avoid that. I mean, we did do that early on in Ghost Hunters, but I think that's the key is as the years go on, you learn more and more and what works and what doesn't, what could have flaws behind it. And so.
Yeah, you experiment with different techniques. You learn about the techniques. You determine whether or not they have any legitimate use. And the ones that do, you keep using. The ones that you start to question, you don't use. It's kind of what the whole field is about.
Absolutely. Nancy loves Chip Coffey. Yeah, Chip's a great guy. He is. So let's see.
Tulpa.
It doesn't sound familiar to me, but I think
people
else.
create it. So many people believe in it. They create it. Like even with a Slender Man and all that stuff.
Oh yeah.
So many people. Is that a tulpa? Is that right?
Might be.
Yeah, it might be.
So thank you, Jennifer, for the $5 super chat. Hi from Bellingham, Mass. I remember you doing an episode of Ghost Hunters in town, but can't find it anywhere. You know, Jen, I would love to help you out, but there were like 370 episodes, and some of them had 2 locations in each. Usually you can go to Wikipedia or whatever and look up Ghost Hunters, and you can see a list of all the locations that we've investigated there. So, let's see. All right. We have energy, Jay, so there's always energy. Yeah, I believe it. Yeah, tulpa. A lot of people are saying tulpa, yeah.
Yeah.
So you're saying there's a chance Santa does exist? I mean, there's a chance. Yeah, there's always a chance. I think Santa lives Santa lives in us all. How about that?
Anne says it's when Jason gives you a parental look. We were coming down from the attic and I was last on my phone and I got the look. I said, "Oh no, the Jason look." Grant fell on the floor laughing. So that's the Jason look.
Jason look. What the hell is the Jason look?
You probably don't even know you're doing it.
No, I don't.
All right, so my objective now, everyone, is in the next investigation we film, I am going to be trying to do something to make Jason make the Jason look, and I'm going to get it on film. That's going to be my objective.
All right. Yeah. I think I'm going to, I don't know. I look at you
Don't
weird
say-
all the time because
I know you do. I know. So we'll probably have a bunch of different looks that I can show, and then people can tell us which one's the Jason look.
this, jeez. I was like, am I going to get myself in trouble? What kind of look am I giving people? All right. What questions you got, Jim?
My husband wanted to show our son an episode. This is from Mary, by the way, where the sound guy was hit with the equipment and knocked down. Can't find it in any of the streaming
New Bedford
services or
Armory.
YouTube.
New Bedford Armory, season 1, I believe. That was Frank. He got leveled by a sound bag. So, great location.
Is season 1 on any of the streaming services? No?
I don't know. I'm really not sure, to be honest with you.
Yeah. A lot of show mediums, as I call them, are very vague. People are often drawn towards that, but the GH and Jason does. It's vary. I'm not sure what that means. What do you feel is the best? I'm not sure what the question is, Martin. Sorry. Don't really understand it.
Francis Barber, Jason look happened a lot when that dude ran all the time. All right. Yeah. That's, that was a different, all right. I guess I can kind of understand what that look is now. It's a look of disappointment.
Are you answering Carrie's question?
No, Francis said Jason look happened a lot when that dude ran all the time.
Oh, okay. Because Carrie says, do you not get the look, JV? Do you not get the look every time you pull a Jimmy?
Yeah, but it's the dark, so you can't
Yeah.
see.
It's true, but I'm going to start watching.
Thank you for the $1.99 super chat. Any Chicago haunted spots you've investigated? Yeah, we did the Congress Theater, I believe it was out there. Yeah, we investigated a bunch of places out that way. So
just to answer the question about the New Bedford Armory episode, Sharon says it's on Fetch TV, and Marilyn says it's on Pluto TV. So you guys can check those places out, see if they're there.
Jasmine, I'm not sure. That usually goes through the agents and stuff like that. So I try not to get myself involved in that too much. So I remember Frank got hit by his own bag. Yes, that's correct. Brian always got the look. So, yep. All right, let's see. Jason, did you ever have members of your film crew quit because of paranormal? Yes, we did. Yes. Actually, Frank, he left. We had another member with the St. Augustine Lighthouse say that because he was supposed to be going in to grab a piece of equipment that was sitting on the floor, and he said, he was, I don't care, I'll walk home, but you fire me, I'm not going to go in there. So, but yeah, he quit shortly after that. Have you ever been to Maryland? I've been to Maryland many times. Investigated a bunch of different locations out there.
Yeah, I was just through Maryland. When did I go to that wedding? 2 weekends ago or last weekend? When was that?
Yeah, it was 2 weeks ago, right? So what does Jason and I assume he means JV do to relax after a long hunt? Honestly, a lot of times we'll go to TGI Fridays, have a drink.
It's true.
Have some appetizers, and then go back and crash. I mean, that seems like the norm.
That is pretty much it. Yeah.
All right.
That's too funny.
Have you ever been to Paranormal Perth? Have you ever been to Western Australia? No, I'm probably banned from Australia because I'm addicted to the accent over there. I don't know what it is.
And they know this in advance, and they won't let you come in.
Do. They're probably like, we're not letting that perv into this country. I mean,
Boy.
I've been asked to come to Australia many times. I'd love to get over there and check it out. So, having a paranormal experience can be scary. You have to be able to handle it. Well, yeah. I mean, a lot of times it happens so fast that the majority of people handle it. But I think there's no point to turn around and run. There's no point to. You can be frightened. You can be startled. But I mean, allowing it to terrify you takes every bit of power you have away. So,
So where did I just see it? Smith S. Mitchell. Any plans for West Coast visits? One of the things, just so people know, Jason and I've been trying to keep what we're doing here with the YouTube investigations within driving distance, so it's not as expensive because it's out of our pockets, and if we want other people involved, they're local, we can generally get them involved, and we can hit a couple locations on a trip when we swing through an area. So if folks want to see West Coast trips, we get the subscribers, we get the support. We're not putting anything off limits. It's just a question of having the support to do it.
all right. So Chris Piper says an egregor is an autonomous psychic entity created by a collective group.
Oh, where's that?
It's written right on the screen, Jim. Right on the
I
screen.
can't see it. There's a thing blocking all that for me. It's
How about this? If I put it there?
my video image is on the lower part, so it blocks all that.
Gotcha.
It's weird.
All right.
Egregore. It's an egregore, and we did it. Remember back in Beyond Reality Radio, we had a guy on that wrote a book about egregores.
Oh my gosh, that's right. Wow.
Yeah.
Jeez.
It was a concept that was a little difficult for me to grasp at the time because it was far more complicated than just a manifestation of something because so many people believe in it. It was far more complicated than that, if I remember correctly.
The Paranormal Monkey Podcast. Any plans on going abroad for any future investigations? Yes. Yep. We've actually been talking about that. We'd like to get overseas and hit some locations. So, and we've been talking to some friends over there that'll bring us to some really neat places.
Yeah, I've been trying to get rid of that thing on the bottom of my screen the whole time. I can't figure out how to do it, so it's staying there.
All right, let's see. Jess Bishop, I got rushed by a large shadow figure coming out of a bathroom once. After recovering sufficiently, I laughed it off and said, "You got me good there." And that's the way to, honestly, that's the way to do it. Just like, whew, that was a good one. You got me. You shocked me. All right.
Also, Debbie says that Pluto has on-demand seasons 1 and 2 of Ghost Hunters, plus they have the live channel for Ghost Hunters too. So it sounds like if you're looking for that episode, I don't remember who asked, but you can find it there.
How about investigating Canada? I'd love to. I've been up there a few different times. So
actually, I need to talk to you about that because we got an invitation from what is considered to be one of the most haunted places in Canada. They want you and I to come up and do an investigation there. And I got this cold thing, so I kind of forgot about it, but I think that's a good reminder. We'll talk about it later.
All right. Well, there you go. We'll be going to Canada. So checking it out.
We do not want to go to Canada in the next 4 months. I pretty much tell you that. I mean, we might want to
have to bust out our snowmobiles again.
Oh my God, yes.
Beth, the tampering with the blankets on the Queen Mary still ticks me off. That was heartbreaking. That truly was. And that's why we made sure we aired it, because so I can't say exactly who I believe it was, but let's just say it was definitely somebody who worked at the Queen Mary who had an agenda, and they were the only ones who had a key to get in that room. And yeah, so that was heartbreaking. But you know what? If you do it, we're going to show it, bottom line. So, Thomas, Jason, I know Meatloaf was a dear friend of yours. Have you had any encounters with him since his passing? No, I haven't. And, but we'll see. We'll see over time. I mean, there was some stuff he specifically had said to me that he wanted from me, after he passed. And, I mean, cause we had a lot of deep conversations, and when I get a sign, then I'll see about doing that. But but my heart goes out to
Yeah,
meet
and
the rest of his family.
if you have not seen the Rolling Hills investigation, you should watch it. I mean, Jay spends a little time. There's a room called the Vortex Room. We actually, all three of us, because John Pasqua had joined us for that investigation, we all try to make contact with loved ones or friends that have passed on. And I'm not going to tell you what happens, but we're still trying to figure out what happened.
Absolutely.
So if you haven't seen that episode, just check that out.
All right. So it's getting near 10 o'clock. We're going to be wrapping up soon, guys, but we want to take a couple more questions. So throw them in there. Jim, you got any over on Facebook?
Let's see here. In Windsor, Ontario, is 80 today. Okay, well, maybe it's not going to get cold there anytime soon, but I think the odds are against us.
Who's going to who's going to New Jersey Para Unity this week?
That's a good question.
So we're all going to be out there. So make sure you come on by, check it out. Great time, great people.
How many people usually have go through that?
A lot. I can't even give you enough.
Is it?
Yeah, it's a lot. I mean, thousands and thousands of people. So,
hey, Chris, thanks. Chris is the king of stars on Facebook. Thank you for the star contribution there. And I know that you were also over in YouTube a few minutes ago and gave us a super chat there. So thank you for all of that. Todd's Plantation in Maryland is very haunted. Also, Fort Howard. You ever been to either of those places? They ring any bells?
Fort Howard. No, it doesn't sound familiar.
I don't know them. I have to check.
Mary will be there. And New Jersey. Good. Awesome. Hang on. I rented out Rolling Hills for November 15th. Delia Marie. Well, you're going to have a blast because it's a phenomenal place. It really is.
It is a great place. Just a caveat, and I don't think it'll be that bad on November 15th, but if you do winter investigations there, it can get really cold, so make sure you dress appropriately.
Jay Smith. Yep, won't answer my questions. I'm so surprised. I have no idea what your question was, so...
What is Mr. Nobody talking about?
No idea. But, I mean, I'll answer any question, so...
Yeah. The thing is, these chat rooms move pretty quickly. We don't see a lot of what's going on in there, so I don't know what the heck he was asking.
Well, especially when you realize that there's over 4,000 questions that have come in. So.
Exactly. Jason, any plans for writing more books?
We will see. I've thought about it. I haven't moved on it right yet. I was kind of, Steve was doing his thing with the book. I never wanted to step on his toes with that, so... Would love to see you guys come to Sloss Furnace. I've been there. I was there twice, once with Meatloaf and once without. So I drive by Moss Beach Distillery every few weeks. Yeah, that's a sore spot for me. That's a sore spot.
Such a good episode. But it was such a good episode, though, because you guys just found all the crap and called them out on it. I mean, it made it epic, actually.
Exactly. I mean, it's like I said, if you're willing to take that chance, then we're gonna show the world. So
funny they did that, and they thought they were gonna get away with it. So funny.
I have not seen a question from him again, so I don't know.
So Daryl says, how do you increase psychic activity? Daryl, I think from what I've learned from other psychics, we've talked to a lot of them. Jason and I know a lot of them. It's same as any other skill. The more you use it and try to learn how to use it, the better you can get at it. It's almost like muscle memory kind of thing. Whereas, or playing a musical instrument, the more you do it, the better you're going to get.
Absolutely. David Shade, Jason had any buffalo chicken salad lately? No, but I love it. So, all right, let's see.
Lewis says, I love how you do the debunking. And I always like seeing that because there are people who everything's a ghost. And if it's not a ghost, they're disappointed. And I know Jason approaches it differently and I do too. And I think it's healthier to approach everything with skepticism. You've got to.
David, the hypnotist says, I've heard you shouldn't be afraid of ghosts. It's the living people that you should be scared of. And that couldn't be more true. So
yeah, it's so true.
Alexandra says, ever thought about investigating with Dan Aykroyd? Actually, he was going to be on one of my live shows in the past, but we were having scheduling conflicts, so we couldn't make it work. But I mean, Dan's always welcome. I mean, he's a great guy, really is. And
he's really into this.
He loves the paranormal, truly loves the paranormal. So
yeah. Hey, thanks for the star contribution. I can't even pronounce the name. Eowyn Chambliss Bailey. Thank you so much for that. Sorry about the pronunciation.
All right, guys, on that note, I think we're going to wrap it up. It's just about 10 o'clock. I want to say thank you to Jen and the moderators who've been handling chat. You guys are wonderful. Hearts go out to you. Stay safe, everybody. Keep it real. We'll talk to you soon. Happy Halloween. Enjoy. On to the next, everybody.